Nate, okay, before I play this, please remember his Nate's last words of, I don't remember any seduction being in Dexter's laboratory, right? Right?
Why are we
Yeah, I
calling
did
it
say that.
seduction?
Yeah, I don't remember that. He looks uncomfortable. Never mind.
Never mind.
He's right in his element, my man.
This is what no seduction looks like to Nate Doan. Welcome to episode 5 of the Le Mystery Society.
You're doing that?
That is not on brand.
No way.
I am your host today, Taylor Dahl. Joining me are the beautiful and lovely Nate Doan, as well as Jenn.
I'm busy.
I'm really excited to share the story today. This is one that stuck with me. It's another disappearance of a fellow named Brandon Lawson. He was 26 years old the night he disappeared. This was August 8th, 2013 at almost midnight, and he walked out of his house after having a fight with his common-law wife. Her name's Ledessa. He left his home in San Antonio, Texas just before midnight, and he would never be seen again, although he would be heard from again, but we'll get to that.
I like it.
Always goes.
I'm gonna try my best to keep this timeline like in chronological order, but it's all the events of the night are a little murky. All right, on the night in question, the young father of 4 left his house.
How old was he?
26. 26, he had 4 children. One of them was with a previous woman, and the other 3 are with that current common-law wife. They look very happy in all their photos, not gonna lie. They look like they were a very, like, it's not like they were, hugely successful and rich, but they looked like they were just enjoying life together, honestly.
That's sad.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I assume it's gonna be sad because right now it just sounds
we don't
great.
know what's
We'll
sad
see if
yet.
it's
It
sad.
sounds like he's got a great life
We'll
so
wait.
far.
Sadness could be just around the corner.
That's my life.
After he left home, just before midnight, he called his father and asked if he could spend the night at his father's house. However, his dad lived 3 hours away. His dad said, yeah, you can stay at my house, but you should go home and make up with your wife. Like, you're not thinking straight. Like, go back. So about 30-45 minutes into his drive to his father's, Brandon calls his brother Kyle to let him know that his car ran out of gas and he's stranded. Kyle lets Ledessa know what's going on, and Ledessa puts a empty gas can outside. She basically is like, I'll put the gas can outside and you can swing by and grab it and take it to him. So Kyle and his girlfriend Audrey drive over to Ledessa's house, grab the gas can, and they go to take it to Brandon. During this time, Brandon is making several calls to Ledessa, all going unanswered because apparently her phone is charging in her car. Doesn't really make sense. She doesn't have her phone on her. She's not seeing any of these messages. He also makes one call to 911, which is like the cherry on top of this case. It is.
Question, do we know where he was actually stranded?
Oh, sorry.
In conjunction to either his house or his father's house?
Yeah, I mean, nothing makes it seem like it's out of the ordinary or he was in a weird spot. Like,
Okay.
they're just like, he ran out of gas near Bronte, Texas, I guess is what it says. Nowhere said anything like he was in a weird spot or like he wouldn't be over
hour
here.
in the opposite
No, he said
direction.
anything like that. None of his family said that it's a weird spot or anything. Also around this time, when Brandon's making these calls, a truck driver passes by his broken down car on the side of the road and calls the police. Back to the brother on his way with the empty gas can, by the way, because he doesn't have money to get gas. He said his check isn't coming in until the next morning. So his plan is to go pick up Kyle's gonna go pick up Brandon, take him to the gas station, make Brandon pay for the gas, and then drive him back to his truck and help him fill it up.
So none of these people were really good at making plans.
Kyle's fucking useless.
He's a hero. No, yeah.
He's a saint. That's my brother, motherfucker.
He's on his way, and basically at about 1:10 in the morning, Kyle, Audrey, and a sheriff's deputy all show up at the same time. They all show up at 1:10 at Brandon's car.
Oh.
Brandon
Great
is
timing.
nowhere to be found.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bad timing.
Brandon's truck is on the side of the road, but Brandon is nowhere to be found. the sheriff's deputy, I believe, sets up like a towing in the morning to come by in the morning and get the truck. He does a few drives up and down the road, like flashing his lights, like looking off the sides of the road, trying to find Brandon, and there's no luck. So basically around 3 a.m., they call off the search for the night, and I'll head home because they're assuming he's just like... Well, here's the thing. Brandon had a warrant out for his arrest, I believe, so he was trying to avoid the police. So when they pulled up and saw the police, Kyle and Audrey are thinking like, he's probably just like off in the trees or in the bushes, like hiding because he doesn't want to get caught by the cops. And Audrey, even at 1:18 or 1:19, like 10 minutes after getting to his car, texts his phone. She texts Brandon and she's like, "Hey bro, there's a cop by your car." Like as a warning, like don't come back to your car, there's a cop. Definitely didn't come back to his car.
Oh, that's not
I'm
funny.
sorry. Kyle and Audrey and this officer. So this officer showed up because of the truck driver calling in saying there was a car parked wrong. 4 minutes before the truck driver called, Brandon somewhere called 911. And that's a clip I'm going to show you because it's a crazy clip. It's but he called 911.
So I don't know if I'm ready
Oh,
for
I'm
this.
so nervous. Oh my god.
I'm actually frightened right now.
So
I'm getting like heart palpitations.
it's pretty exciting. It is. It creeps me out. It creeps me out. But they actually don't find out that he called 911 for a few days when his wife gets their phone. She like goes through their phone records and finds that he called 911. And 911 never did anything about it.
What the fuck?
We'll get into that. Let me play this for you because that's our first episode. Didn't mean to play that.
Shameless plug.
Hey, have you guys checked out the Mystery Society on YouTube?
Oh my god.
You should really give them a watch. There's a lot in this 911 call, and a lot of it is very almost indiscernible. Like it's hard to tell what he's saying quite a few times, and that's led to such a big interaction in this case with people online because they're all trying to decipher it, all like running it through their software and like changing the sound settings and everything, trying to like hear it better.
Are we assuming he was drunk?
Well, I don't think we should. He did have problems with drugs in the past. There could have been some kind of a relapse that night. There's not really any clear signs of that. So here, I'm gonna play the 911 call from Brandon Lawson.
I'm so nervous right now.
9/2013 0:50 and 38 seconds. 911 emergency.
Yes, I'm in the middle of the field. It's like we just pushed some guys over. Right here going towards Javelin on both sides. My truck ran out of gas. There's one car here. Got taken to the woods. Please hurry.
Okay, now run that by me.
I'm not talking to him. I actually ran into him.
Ah, you ran into him. Okay.
Got the first guy.
Do you need an ambulance?
Yeah, no, I need the cops.
Okay. Is anybody hurt? Hello? Hello? Hello?
I'm gonna read the best transcript that we have.
Okay.
Because it's a lot easier to hear once you've kind of read what people have gotten from it. So Brandon starts off this call with saying something along the lines of, "Yes, I'm in the middle of a field, blah, 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 push some guys over. We're out here going towards Abilene on both sides." Abilene is nearby, I believe it was like a city or town. My truck ran out of gas. There's one car here. It sounds like they're saying a guy's chasing me through the woods or somebody
That's
chased
what
us into
I
the
heard.
woods. Please hurry.
Yeah, I heard please hurry.
Operator says, "Okay, now run that by me one more time." He says, "There'll be no talking to him. I accidentally ran into him." They said, "Oh, you ran into him. Okay." And everybody, in all the transcripts I have of this, I can't really hear this, but at this point, they say in the background noise, you hear a third voice say, "Detective."
I heard that. I heard that. Oh, I fucking hate it. Oh my god. no.
That sounded like a girl, didn't it?
Yeah.
It sounded like a girl
Can
to
we?
me.
Can we? I'm actually like.
I'm fucking freaking out.
I
dude.
actually am getting like anxiety.
I told you guys would like this one. It's so fucking weird. Brandon says something along the lines of somebody shot the first guy, and in the background, everyone that I've read who's like dissected this has said that there is a gunshot right here in the background. So I'm gonna go through it slower and play it for
Can
you
we
guys.
hold it when it plays, just so we can hear it better?
Yeah, of course.
Got the first guy. Got the first guy.
That's no. That doesn't sound.
Listen to it. It does.
It's too. It's way too long to be a gunshot. That sounds like a car going over a bump. A gunshot would be quick, you know, like it would, and it would also.
They said it sound. The people who recorded said it sounded like a shotgun or a rifle to them.
No, I mean not any shotgun or rifle, and especially through a phone recording, it would peak.
If it was there, but they're not saying it's like right next to them. It's like a off in the distance sort of thing.
Yeah. Could do one more time.
Okay.
Got the first guy.
That's
I don't
so
like that.
sketchy. Yeah.
Oh, you ran into him? Well, shot the first guy. There's a gunshot. Operator says, "Do you need an ambulance?" And he goes,
No, I need the cops.
he says, "Yes, no, I need the cops."
Ugh. I didn't like that part. That was the part specifically I didn't.
She
hate
says,
it.
"Is anybody hurt?" And then at this point, you start hearing a rumbling,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
it grows, and it sounds almost like a car is pulling up to him.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what it sounds like. And you can hear him say, "Crap!" Like under his breath, you can hear like "crap."
Hello? Hello? Hello?
I'm not okay with this.
It almost makes me wonder if he like dropped the phone and tried to run. Did they ever recover his phone?
No, I
No.
can. I feel like I can hear him breathing the whole time.
Yeah.
So I think he's just sitting there trying to hide, but I think they're pulling up to him, and I think he's probably in shock.
Fucking crazy.
This is.
One second, let me find the right one.
Ooh, that makes me so nervous.
I know, like this is. I was having fun up until this point.
I know,
I'm
isn't
not
it?
having fun anymore.
Isn't it fucking okay?
Like,
So
I
it sounds.
have
I'm in the
chills.
middle of the field. Well, something like some guys pushed over some guys or pulled over some cars, something like that. Which also could, to me, at one point, like it kind of sounded like it could be like a cop pulled over cars, and the next thing he says, right here, going towards Abilene on both sides. And that's the thing that doesn't make sense. Is on both sides doesn't really. He says, my truck ran out of gas. There's one car here. Blah, 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 got taken through the woods. Blah, 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 please hurry.
My truck ran out of gas. There's one car here. Got taken to the woods.
It sounds like he says.
Takes us or
It sounds like he says
chased
there's
us.
one car here that chased us into the woods.
Okay. That can,
Like as if
But he already said like they're in the middle of a field.
he says,
Yeah, 'cause he got
I'm in the
chased.
middle of a field.
after he got chased into the woods. And I think,
Okay.
I
So,
think
like,
that's why you hear the cars.
On
the
both
cars
sides of
chasing.
Okay.
the like street are trees and bushes and stuff. So it's not just Arizona's barren, nothing on either
Wasteland,
side.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like, honestly, like every subject
It's
of the
very
sentences
garbled.
is just gone. And
Got the first guy.
one more time.
Yeah, that sounded different.
Hey. Got the first guy. Got the first guy. Got the first guy. Got the first guy.
Now it doesn't sound like anything.
Yeah. It almost sounds like he's talking to whoever said that.
Yeah.
Like he's hiding with somebody.
Is anybody hurt? Hello?
Yep. I heard that.
Hello? Hello?
You
Yeah.
can hear him breathing.
Yeah, you can. And that's definitely a car
Yes,
too.
I'm in the middle of the field. Looks like we're just pushing guys over. Yes, I'm in the middle of the field. Yes, I'm in the middle of the field.
Don't do that.
I'm in the middle of the field.
Do that.
Do not do
I'm in
that.
the middle of the field. Yes, I'm in the middle of the
Turn that off. Turn that the fuck off, dude. What the fuck are you doing?
told you!
We're on both sides.
He has 11 tracks. He has everything, and then all the individual parts that he says slowed down. Okay, let's see.
Goodwill Haunting. I feel like the more I listen to it, the more convoluted everything gets.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like it starts all just kind of blending together.
Yeah. Somebody else suggested it could also be similar to like a trunk slamming, too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I give that track a 0 out of 10. I do want to listen to it one more time, though.
I bet there's a remix out there. Okay. Anyway, so like, also another thing, which I don't know how accurate this source is, but let me actually check the website because I believe the family runs the website. There's a whole, it's called missingbrandonlawson.com. But apparently, while they were talking to the cops, or when they were pulling up and saw the cop or something, apparently Kyle was on the phone with Brandon and did not let the cop know this because he didn't want the cop to arrest him. Still same issue as before. But what they heard Brandon say was that he's in a field a couple miles away and he's bleeding. You know what I thought of that was like really eerie?
This whole thing.
What if there was another person with him who got shot? Because there's a lot of like sound, like he sounds like he says shot the first one, that sounds like there's a gunshot, all this stuff. It may have even been like a we got chased into the woods, so there might be another person who got shot. And when she asks, do you need an ambulance? At first he's like, yeah, but then he realizes the guy's fucking dead. He doesn't need an ambulance, he needs the cops. And so he's like, yeah, no, I need the cops instead. Like, what if at first he was like, yeah, an ambulance, no.
I'm
no.
liking this list. This is fucking
It's a no
scary.
for me, dog.
Yeah.
I don't like this one.
Three X's.
This is a good ass case. That's how you know it's a good one, is if we don't even want to be a fucking part of it. Like, I don't want my hands in this case. This is too recent, first of all.
2013.
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna come after us now.
That is really recent.
Yeah, and basically after that point, when they realized something was actually wrong, they did some more searches. They did actually quite a few searches. They did searches in helicopters with infrared, which would not help if he'd been dead because
Right.
they would not find him. So that didn't really do much. But they also had search dogs. They had actual, like, official search and rescue out there.
Did the search dogs come up with anything?
Nothing. Never found anything. So while they were doing their searches, though, there was one place they couldn't search, which was the private property, and people wouldn't let people on their land because there's no evidence for it. They just wouldn't. So, and come on, like, out there in the middle of Texas,
I don't
those
trust
private
that.
property owners, like, I could see Brandon breaking down, he doesn't want to call his wife, or no, actually I think he does call his wife and she doesn't answer.
Yeah, because her phone was in the
Her
car
phone's
or
in the
whatever.
car.
Yeah.
So he calls his brother to get gas. He's doing that. And then maybe he's drunk, maybe he's on drugs, whatever. He's out there, broken down in the middle of nowhere, trying to call his wife, and he's probably just like trying to maybe make up with her or something. Like, apologize for being a dick that he was that night. And maybe accidentally wanders onto private property. They just moved there, I don't know how long ago, so they're not actually locals, and apparently, like, people in those towns don't really take to non-locals that
Good
well.
old gun-toting civilians find someone on their property, they fucking freak out. They're like, I'm gonna shoot you, guy runs.
That's what I think could have happened, yeah.
So if the owner of the property potentially called the cops and saying, like, there's someone on my property, they went out with a gun, cop showed up, this guy's running, and immediately looks guilty. I mean, we hear about this all the time. Maybe a cop is a little quick on the draw, takes a shot.
He said I hit the first one, or I accidentally hit the first one. What if, like, he accidentally, like, hit somebody, or
Like, actually, like, hit another
with, like,
car.
a car, like, if there was people pulled over on the side of the road, he hit somebody, and the other somebody, like, with it, so he's like, I hit the first one, and maybe the other guy chased him into the woods with a gun or something like that.
Or even they did stop and something was going on between all of them and they were like, come with us or whatever, and he like he knocked out the first guy and tried to run and the other guy chased him.
Right.
Because that's what I think. So I think somebody
Fuck
pulled
that.
over and then something happened between those guys. He knocks one out and runs, but then they chase him in a car. So he's fucked. I
So
need some drugs after
it
this.
says,
Fucking
I offered them
same.
to you already.
Yeah, but before this fucking happened to me.
Yeah,
He says the word that was very what's it called when you argue about it, like starts with
Yelling.
D. I'm not gonna keep telling my story till we
Debate?
figure this word out.
What?
Debate it, sure.
Okay.
On what it is, it sounds like the word staper, and that's right before push some guys over.
Staper?
Staper, which isn't a word,
Okay.
Okay.
but everybody's
I was
like
are you
staper's
sure?
the. He sounds like he says staper.
Yes, I'm in the middle of the field. A staple just pushed some guys over. Yes, I'm in the middle of the field. A staple just pushed some guys over. Yes, I'm in the middle of the field. A staple just pushed some guys over.
What somebody came up with was that there might have been like some like either the audio has been edited or something went wrong with the call, but he theorized that he said state trooper, and it got like cut up to just sound like staper.
If it was a state trooper, there'd be more documentation. Unless you're saying that the state trooper was involved.
Right.
As in, like,
Why else would the like released tape be edited?
Oh, I see
Like-
what you mean, yeah.
If they were, yeah, I got it.
I enjoyed that, but it hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about this case. Is that the whole thing?
That's it. That's all
That
we
was-
have. There wasn't.
That's crazy.
That's my favorite one so far. That was really fucking good.
So that is, as far as we know, what happened to Brandon Lawson that night. If you have any theories on who or what could have been behind it, comment, like, subscribe, send it to all your friends and your grandmas and your uncles and your nieces and your nephews and
Maybe
your
not your
cats and
grandma's. This is
balloons.
really scary.
Yeah, my grandma wouldn't like this.
Yeah, so I hope you liked this week's episode. Catch us next week for Jen's new mystery, where she'll be talking about something. See you next time.
Thanks for watching this week's episode of the Mystery Society. We hope you guys enjoyed that crazy 911 call. Don't forget to leave some comments down below about what you think happened. And stay tuned next week for my video on the mysterious missing Boston men.